Welcome to Intellifluence, an influencer marketing service that you can actually afford. I'm going to take you through the process of setting up a clothing and apparel influencer marketing campaign targeting Pinterest. We'll go through the process from start to finish, and afterwards, we'll take a few minutes and analyze the campaign. This will show you just how easy it is to use Intellifluence to get reviewed, build awareness, and increase your sales. For the purpose of today's presentation, I'm the representative of the ASTORIA fine outerwear brand, and I'm looking to market our winter jackets. Once you have joined and logged into your dashboard, you can go ahead and click Create New Campaign. First, give your campaign a name so you can easily reference it. Next, choose the type of compensation you want to offer influencers. It can be free product, cash, or both, and you'll notice the fields change depending on what you choose. For today's presentation, we're going to go with both. Next, you'll enter the free product or service you are offering here, along with the retail value. And if you're offering cash compensation on top, you would enter it right here. Next, choose how many influencers you want to work with in this campaign, and keep in mind that you can update this number at any time. Now at this point, you might get a notification telling you that you don't have sufficient funds to pay the number of influencers you chose. This is just a reminder letting you know that you need to fund your campaign before sending pitches if you're offering cash. You don't need to worry about this right now when setting up the campaign. Next, the required work section is really important, so I want to take a minute to highlight it. You want to make sure that you include all of the required work associated with your campaign. If there's an issue with a transaction, it's typically because there's miscommunication here in the required work section. So you notice I have all the details here. Post a pin with the accompanying blog review and description about the ASTORIA Ladies Faux Fur Winter Jacket. Here's what to do once you're accepted to the campaign, the URL where to order, the shipping details, information about the coupon code that will be provided upon approval, what to do once you receive the jacket, and then payments information here. I include a link to the Intellifluence Promise, which gives an overview on how the influencer will be compensated with the cash at completion. And then this required info section, if you're looking to ship the product to the influencer, you can ask for a mailing address. In this instance, I'm sending them to my website to have them order, so I don't need that, but you can request any of this information here. If you need it, that's up to you. And then so in order to really enhance your campaign, you should add an image to your campaign. This really makes it stand out in the marketplace. And it's very important. So definitely choose a campaign image. You'll have a lot more success with it. Now you select a start and end date for your campaign. We'll give this about a month and a half here. Now when you get down here, you'll see the option to syndicate your campaign to public partners and display in the public marketplace. So this is our internal marketplace, and then this goes beyond to make your offer open to our third-party partners for maximum exposure. If you're subscribed to an applicable plan, you have the option to make your campaign private, where you exclusively seek out influencers to pitch. So on certain plans, you might not see this option here. So leaving both boxes checked will give you the most exposure. And the great thing about Intellifluence is that you can have a public campaign visible for influencers to apply in the marketplace, and elsewhere you can also be seeking out influencers to pitch on your own at the same time. So it's double the effectiveness of most influencer marketing platforms out there. And then next, select up to 5 categories that represent your product or service. We're going to go with clothing and apparel in this instance. And then you can choose your target countries, and then the social platforms that you want to target. In this instance, we're just going to do Pinterest. Now you can choose a minimum audience size for your campaign. So by default, you will only see influencers that have your preferred minimum reach. Now you can adjust this down the road, so just consider it a starting point. For the link back URL, enter the URL for your product or service that you want the influencer to promote in their post. And below, you can enter a suggested post message that will act as a prompt for the influencer when they are writing their post. This just helps them out a little bit, gives them some clarity. And then you also have the option of including posting do's and posting don'ts. This is a great way to highlight any brand style guide items or words or topics or themes that you want the influencer to include or avoid. Now, once you've filled out all the fields, you've included all the required work in a straightforward yet thorough manner, you have the campaign visibility settings, how you want them, and you've uploaded a campaign image, you can go ahead and click Save up here. Once you've saved your campaign, you're automatically redirected to our Discover tool. The Discover tool will enable you to effortlessly search our entire network of influencers and apply advanced filters to display the best possible candidates for your campaign. Now, immediately you'll notice this message letting you know that your campaign is live, and here's what to do next. So it's time to find the best clothing and apparel influencers on Pinterest. Happy hunting! In order to make things easy for you, we apply filters based on the information you enter when setting up a campaign, and you'll notice that right here, these filters are applied. So this ensures that you'll only see good candidates from the very beginning. The filters I have in place are influencers that will accept $75 value in product. They'll accept $50 in cash compensation. One of their specialties is clothing and apparel. They're based in the United States, on Pinterest. And remember, I set that audience number to small, but you can change that within the campaign, or you can adjust any of these filters by clicking on the Advanced Filters button right here. And if you had multiple campaigns going, a nice thing you can do is you can apply the filters that are default for this particular campaign. You can apply different filters based on different campaigns you have, in other words. Now, the advanced filters we have here, you can refine by influencers, so you can drill down by gender, you can add or remove countries, and for a country like the United States, you can choose the particular state you're interested in, enter a zip code, select a search radius. You can search by if you've worked with the influencer or haven't worked with them before. Like I said, you can change that minimum reach. You can refine your budget. Now later, when we're analyzing the campaign, I'll talk a little bit about relaxing the filters. And basically what that does is, if you're not finding a lot of good candidates, you might want to add a little bit more money. Maybe make this $100 or $75 or $150, whatever. Just up that max spend value on the cash compensation. And maybe you'd want to throw in a hat or something and make it like $100 product value. That is up to you. But that's what I mean when I say relaxing filters, just making it a little bit more desirable. Also, that might look like adding specialties or increasing your search radius. And then you can refine by social platforms. So we're searching exclusively Pinterest, but if we had multiple social platforms, we could search, we could refine the audience total. So like for Pinterest, my reach, maybe I only want to target Pinterest influencers that have 1,000 followers and up. So that would filter that right there. Now I've applied that filter, and if I change my mind, you can see that Pinterest reach right here. I can get rid of that filter by clicking that. It'll refresh, take me there. And I can also clear all the filters if I want to start from scratch. And then, like I said, oops, I changed my mind. I want to actually use those filters. And they're right there. They're back again. So these are the influencers that best match the parameters of my campaign. Now, each influencer card is going to display their bio, as well as the minimum product value and cash payment value they will accept. You can also check out their areas of expertise and also their total reach broken down to each platform, and that's right here. Now, once you find an influencer you would like to pitch, hover over them and click Add to Campaign. You can also view their full profile here. Their expanded bio, their website data, different transactions. But we're going to go ahead and add this influencer to our campaign. Now once you've added the influencer to your campaign, you'll see this success message up here, and you can click right here to go directly to the campaign, and you'll see the influencer added in the transaction bar, and then you can go ahead and send them your pitch. At this point, you're almost ready to pitch. As I mentioned earlier, you'll need to add funds to your account before you send pitches if you're running a cash campaign. In order to fund your campaign, you just need to click the Add Funds button, which is displayed at the top of almost every screen within the system. Now you can easily add funds using the payment card you have on file that is tied to your subscription. Otherwise, you can click Add a Card if you'd like to add another payment card. If you're ready to add funds, simply enter the amount and click Add Funds. Once you've updated your funds, you'll see an updated account balance here, and you can also view an expanded account balance here that includes all of your Intellifluence payments and subscription history. You can also view and update your payment methods right here. Now that you have created your campaign, use the Discover tool with advanced filters to find the best influencers, and you've added those influencers to your campaign, and you have funded your campaign if you're offering a cash incentive, now's the time to pitch the influencer. You can pitch influencers individually, or you can select multiple influencers to pitch using our bulk pitch tool right here. You can also remove them from your campaign in this instant using the bulk tool. For the purpose of this demonstration, I'm going to send a pitch to this influencer, so I'm going to click Send Pitch. You'll notice the pitch is populated with your most recent campaign details. Since I'm offering cash, you'll notice the cash amount displayed here that includes the Intellifluence payments transaction fee. And then this total represents the total cost to send the pitch. If everything looks right, you can go ahead and click Send Pitch. You can also make any changes you want to this specific pitch before sending. If you want all pitches to reflect these changes, you need to edit the actual campaign. So you would back out, and then you would be at your main campaign screen here, and you would click the Edit button, and then you can edit any single component of the campaign right here. And then once you save that, all changes will be reflected in your subsequent pitches. All right, everything looks good, so I'm going to pitch this influencer. I'm going to click Send Pitch and send the pitch. Once you have pitched the influencer, you'll notice the status update there where you are waiting for a response. This kicks off the transaction flow. At this point, the influencer is going to review your pitch and either accept it, decline, or request changes via the messaging system. You can click Messages at any time to access our messaging system, which saves you from having to deal with email because email is cumbersome. Any correspondence with influencers will be stored here, as well as in each transaction within each campaign. So there's multiple ways to read your messages. When you arrive at the dashboard, they'll appear at a glance right here, or like I said, you can click the Messages tab to read all the messages from influencers throughout all your campaigns, and then you can actually just go right to the campaign there and click on the message box right here. If the influencer responds and lets you know that they are looking for different terms, you might need to negotiate by sending a revised pitch, which you can do right here if you still want to work with them. Now back to the campaign. Once the influencer has accepted the pitch, you'll receive an email notification as well as a notification displayed within your dashboard. You'll see a new message notification there, or you can go to the campaign and you'll see the transaction flow update right here. So now I'm ready to send the influencer the product and update this transaction flow, which will notify the influencer that the product is en route. So you can do this here, or you can also do this directly from the message screen as well. This opens your message thread here for the transaction, and you're going to click the Mark Product as Sent button right here, and then you can provide the necessary details such as tracking numbers or estimated delivery times so the influencer knows when to expect delivery. If the influencer needs to purchase the product from your website or a retailer, you can provide the instructions at this time. You can also provide any details such as a referral code if you want them to include it in their post. So now I'm going to mark this as sent, and you'll see within the transaction flow that it's been updated, the product has been sent, and now we just await the response. And we're back. We're in our dashboard, and you can see here in our latest message thread that the influencer has received the product. So we can go directly to that message thread, and we see that there, and you can provide a response thanking the influencer for letting you know, look forward to reading the review. I find that it's always best to communicate constantly just to keep things rolling along and so both parties are involved. So now that they've received the product, they've notified us that they'll post a review. We just have to wait a little bit. And we're back once again. So let's go to the message section and we see that the influencer has posted. So we'll go to the message thread here and the influencer has included the post link. And so let's take a look at the URL to review. All right, here's the post, and upon reviewing, I see that the influencer has done exactly what I asked for. The review looks good. The pin is promoted in a way that I'm happy with. So I can go back to the message thread and mark this transaction as completed. Now, if there was ever an issue with the work that the influencer submitted, you can explain here in the message thread what changes need to be made rather than marking this as complete. Since everything looks good in this instance, I'm going to mark this as complete. Now you can include a thank you or an invitation to work again in the future. You can let them know that you'll update them on future campaigns if you want to work with them again, whatever you deem necessary. So we're going to mark as complete. And now you have the opportunity to rate the influencer's performance, and this will help us enhance the community even further. Now, in a perfect world, we could end the webinar right now because everything went exactly as planned. But the reality is, sometimes things go awry. If you've done your best to provide clear instructions throughout the transaction, but there's an issue with the transaction and you try to resolve it directly with the influencer to no avail, you do have the option to flag the transaction for further review. Now, before you do this, like I said, really try and work it out with the influencer. Effective communication will go a long way. But if you're just not getting to the bottom of it, you can click the flag this transaction button up here. And you'll notice this message. Please only flag a transaction for review after you've tried to resolve the issue on your own. Appropriate reasons for flagging a transaction include requesting help to get any party to comply with the terms of your agreement, bringing to our attention any party that has acted in a non-professional manner, or bringing to our attention any content that doesn't comply with Intellifluence policies. If you notice anything illegal, if there's serious issues with the content. If you're experiencing anything like that, let us know about it by flagging the transaction. Also, if you've sent a pitch to an influencer but they don't want to move forward and they haven't declined it, or you've changed your mind before any of the transaction steps past pitching have been completed, you have the option to archive the transaction, and that icon would show up right there if that was an applicable transaction you could archive. Now that we have completed a transaction from start to finish, it's time to analyze the campaign. If you haven't achieved the results you're looking for, there's several steps you can take to encourage greater success. First, you might want to adjust the advanced filters when searching for an influencer using the Discover tool. Like I mentioned earlier, you might need to relax these filters a little bit. You might need to expand the categories and relax the audience requirements of influencers in terms of their social platforms or blog visitors. For your campaign, you may want to edit it and offer more product or cash value to encourage more pitch acceptances and marketplace applications. You may need to be more explicit in the required work section of the campaign if the influencer's work is consistently not meeting your expectations. It's really easy to edit your campaign and adjust the advanced filters within the Discover tool. We created a video called How to Analyze a Campaign on our YouTube channel that you can check out for more advice on analyzing your campaign. Within any screen in our system, you can either take a tour and get an explanation of how things work. Otherwise, you can click on the FAQ link to go to our knowledge base where you can search help articles by topic. If your question isn't answered or you need some more help, you can submit a request directly to one of our friendly customer service staff members such as myself. I hope this webinar has helped you out, and we look forward to helping you reach your influencer marketing goals.